day of the summer. It's Craft 4.7. And remember, you can go to the Macintosh Memorial Library and download all the instructions that you need to make a birdhouse. But this birdhouse holds money, not birds. All right, don't forget that Vernon Communications has been a tremendous partner for us this summer. This is our last craft activity, but our partnership with Vernon Communications will keep going. So let's get started building our birdhouse. So I've already sketched out an opening to put your money in. Now when you make this opening, make sure that you've made it big enough to put your money in. So you have to go by like quarters because that's probably the largest coin you have. And I'm going to cut this out because I'm going to cover this with paper, but to cut through the cardboard and the paper is difficult. So I'm going to cut this now. Maybe if I use, there, that'll help me. I just poked it with a thermometer, a cooking thermometer. And then I'm going to cut this out, my opening. And this is tricky. Getting there. You have to do it a little bit, little bit, little bit. There, got it. Now, the next thing you have to do is you have to cut the box and see how I marked the middle of the box? Then, from the middle I measured down about 5 centimeters, but that you can do how much you want. But I marked 5 centimeters down on each side, and then I drew a line from the middle to the 5 centimeters, middle, 5 centimeters, and then it'll look even on both sides. I'm going to read my directions because I don't want to make a cut that isn't supposed to be there. It says cut down each of the corners. I'm going to take this. You know what? I think I missed this step. Yes, it says cut off the top of the box. Honestly, this is easier to do than that opening. And this box used to have some advertising on it for whatever was in this box. I can't even remember. But I just peeled that off so that if you want to paint, you could. I just prefer to cover it with paper because that's what I have. All right. So I've got my top cut off. And now it says to cut down. And I'm going to cut to those lines, those 5 centimeter lines that I made. And you have to do the same in back. But I did not mark those. So I did the 2 front ones. Okay, and now, where's my front? You have to keep track of that. It says that you have to fold these 2 out. And you know, that's kind of an extra piece. I'm just gonna cut that off. We don't really need it for this part. Okay, so you've got these 2 flaps and these 2 flaps. And it says in here, in the middle, you have to fold these back right along that line. So I'm making like a little triangle flap. See how that's giving you your triangle top now? And then the same in the back. Gonna find that middle spot again. And this box is a little tricky because of how it was made. I'm going to cut part of it off because I think it's not going to matter. It's a tab that was holding the box shut. And I think that's making it hard for me to fold it. Yep, there we go. So now we've got some triangles in the front and the back, and we have our point of the house. Then it says you have to keep, one side needs to be glued back on, right here, okay? One side needs to be left open. So I'm going to use some hot glue here. Press it in, hold it for a minute. And this piece gets cut off. There you go. Now this is the spot where you're going to be able to take your money out. Okay? Now we're going to cover this so it looks pretty. And I've decided to use this kind of paper. And the bottom doesn't matter, so I'm just going to leave that. And put some hot glue around here. These glue sticks are hard to see. And I pre-folded mine, I creased it, so I would know where to line the paper up with. Then you have to get this glued on all sides. I try to make sure I get the edges well. I'm going to need a little bit more right here. I think I'm going to slip, because one piece wasn't big enough, I'm having to add a second piece. So I didn't want to glue that all the way down until I could get this piece in. Glue that on, make sure the edge is lined up. The paper edge and the box edge. Roll it over and you have one side left. Now fold that back a little bit so this side gets tucked under here. snug and crease that. So there you go. And then if you need to, you can make some trims. Just to level it all off, because then it'll sit a little bit better. Okay? Now, the thing is, you get kind of a lot of paper right up here, so you have to kind of fold it like a present. And it gets pretty thick. But it doesn't matter so much how this looks because it's going to get covered with the roof. And it gets trickier the more you close it. It's harder and harder to get your glue where it needs to get to. Now see, I can feel right there is where my opening is. Now, before I add the roof, I have a piece of paper, but this will vary according to what you need, okay? Now, remember, right here, one side is to be able to stick your hand in there to get your money out after you save enough. So, yep, you can get in there. So what do you think? Do you think that yellow looks pretty good? Okay, so then you want to just glue on that roof. In the middle. It's a little tricky to see. So this side flips up for you to get your money. And I like putting it on a base to add some color. But I'm going to do that right at the end because I have to cut this hole out. And this is really the fairly tricky one. Because you're kind of cutting where you don't know exactly where you have to cut. So see, there you go, it's your opening. Now, I also want to make it look like a birdhouse for a little bird to perch on. So I've got, you can use a nail too. And I cut a little tiny piece of saute stick right here. And I'm going to put some glue on it. And I'm going to stick it through and let it sit. And see how much that makes that look like a birdhouse just by adding that one little piece? That little knob at the end makes it seem, whoa, now I've got a birdhouse. So the last thing I'm going to do is add some decorations up here. And I'm thinking I'm going to make like a little flower on it. I think I need, oh, I want to use yellow because yellow is, how about this? Yep, that'll be better. Okay, I'm going to start here in the center. A little dot of glue. Because I want to work, I keep picking up that yellow, I must be supposed to use it. Stick that one under. Green one. Stick this one under. Red one. And one more. How about an orange one? Has to go. This is the tricky one because you have to get it under the red, no, over the red and oh. It's a little tricky. Put it too close together. There we go. And you make a flower. I'm going to try the next one down here on a white piece of paper for you. And I'm going to lay it out first. I tried to not have to do that, but I think I made a mistake. I should have done that for you. I practiced this, I really did. Okay. The new one goes on top. And it goes under that one. And then you kind of get them all to join here in the middle like a little spiral. There you go. So what I'm going to do is add a little glue job there. See if I can slap it on there. And then you have a pretty little spiral on your house. That was a better way to do it, wasn't it? That's called living and learning. So it was good to put it on a piece of paper, kind of hook them together, and then spiral them around. I like how that looks, and I think that would attract birds. Maybe it'll attract money as well. And there you have your birdhouse bank, where you flip it up to get your money, and you drop your money in there. I hope that you'll save for something really exciting. And then when you're all done decorating, don't forget to put on your base. Give it a little squish down, and there you have it. A birdhouse bank. Tomorrow is our very final day of summer activities. we're gonna make a rubber band shooter. I hope you'll join us at 3 o'clock for our final day of summer activities.